Welcome back to the Lifespring Age, episode 28, Sarah of Greencrest. The ghost of Sarah emerges from a book in the library in Greencrest, and the party have to deal with the consequences. Follow us on the socials for our posts, memes, and artworks. So, obviously, you guys have woken up in the inn in the morning, done your morning yoga. Riptide had a bit of trouble, but Laffy to the rescue, helped her out with her, her seized up back. Wolf explained the party that Chiken had appeared to her and tried to convince her to keep Laffy away from Greencrest because it was dangerous at the time. And Laffy could not get hold of Chiken and was unsure of what to do until Wolf said, "Oh, by the way, it's also the kid is there that we went missing, and it's the followers of the consumer." At which point, Laffy was like, "Let's go, let's fucking go!" And then you headed off into Greencrest proper, found the library that you had been instructed to find, and in there you met Conqueror Heather, who is the old elderly green Dragonborn. Just to give you a Dragonborn character who is not an evil son of a gun. I love Dragonborns. And he's a chromatic one as well. So if there was anyone to be evil, it would be him. And he seems pretty chill. So he explained to you that there's been a ghost popping up in the corner, and no one had been in that corner, so he couldn't give you too many details about it. You also pulled at a thread a little bit. And there was a mention of a Sir John Kilpatrick, who was a local mini celebrity who owned a couple of the farms and tanneries in the area, who was like a bit of a conjuration wizard whiz, who kind of dotted about here, there, and everywhere, making teleportation magic cool again. So yeah, you headed into what Wolf has called the naughty corner. And the ghost appeared convalescing out of mist around a particular book. It was a ghost of a young woman in a servant's uniform who'd had her tongue ripped out, who was trying to communicate, moaning, screaming and crying, reached out for you, but at the moment her hands...
Did you go for anyone specific, or was the closest person?
It was, if you were the closest person...
I think I would have been.
Because it's like a thin corridor as well, so it may well have been you. In fact, that's a really good question. Would you like to roll me anyone can roll me an insight? Because it would be towards you, but whether it would be for you...
Not 20.
Oh, wow, not
26.
20.
Oh wait, I need to use...
That's an 8.
You need to use cat insight.
There's no insight on there.
Well, you keep your
just
intelligence, wisdom, and...
Oh yeah, you keep your stats, of course, yeah.
Keep your mental stats.
Wolf, she was going towards you, but her eyes were not focused on you at the time. She was reaching through you for someone behind you.
Who's directly behind me?
Well,
or like who? Can I get a sense?
With a nat 20, you turn around to look. Whoever it was, I mean, the hand wouldn't have touched you, but it was lower than your head. You turn around, and I'm going to imagine behind you is Rusty and Kudo, like the only ones that you could consider tall enough for her to be, short enough for the kind of like grasp that she was going for, because otherwise it would have been your stomach.
Okay. Or hypothetically, could it have been Laffy in the back?
With a nat 20, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, cool. The other thing I was want to ask, because I mentioned it before, would I recognize the symbol she had on her? The tree with the sun?
Yes, you would. The symbol on there, with your nat 20 from before, your history check, it would be the symbol of Sir Kilpatrick's house.
Yeah. Okay. Probably a slight jump from people as the fucking ghost.
What would you have done as that happened? Like, what would have people's reactions been? So Riptide is right at the back. I will say this, didn't really see anything.
She was right around the corner and yeah.
Well, she's looking and she sees this and she's like, "What?" And then she sees like, well, in fact, I will explain Riptide's reactions at the end. I want to see what your reactions are first.
Well, I think it's very simple. She had her crossbow out. She was looking around. She probably like had it almost like the quick draw thing. Mm-hmm. You know, had it like out. But obviously, she probably. I don't think she would have shot. But like, you know, it does like a jump scare and vanishes, so I don't think there would have been time apart from like a slight backstep or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about I'll say Kudo. I'm not going to go into Rusty's reaction because he wouldn't have seen. Kudo, what would have your reaction be? This may well be the first time you've seen like a proper ghost for almost everyone here, by the way. Like this would be akin to you seeing like a ghost in real life, like the kind of how rare this is, especially because of how the world prepares against these things. This is not normal behavior.
I probably will have my hand on the sword ready to draw. Just, even though it doesn't really make sense in a kind of way, like, it's a ghost, why would you try to cut it? But it's just, instinct, like, danger equals hand on sword.
Azalea, what about yourself?
I think it's a weird one in that she like sees spirits a lot, which is a hop, skip, and a jump away. So I don't think is overwhelmingly shitting herself so much as just cautious and being wary about what's going on.
Yeah. Okay, and last but certainly not least, Cat Laffy, Caffey.
Well, there's also Lou.
Yeah.
Oh, Lou, sorry, Lou, I forgot about you. Yeah, sorry. I thought. Sorry, Lou.
In real life and hid from you.
So
Lou
yeah,
has... go ahead.
You
Matt.
may have seen a ghost because you know, like necromancy wizard. So this might not be the first time you've seen it.
Yeah. So Lou's left hand is on her crossbow, and her right hand is prepared a firebolt. Because her first instinct is to shoot it, but then she
Firebolt in a bookshop.
She thinks, no magical crossbow, that's stupid, and her other hand is like, magic should work, right?
Yeah.
Firebolt in a bookshop.
Yeah, that is a choice. And sorry, now we can have Caffey.
I think there'd be a mix of like wide-eyed like shock, but also then like a little head tilt of like curiosity. Yeah, like, oh, I've never seen one of those before. Yeah, I think she's. I wouldn't say she's like terrified. I'd say she's like, oh god, and then like, is probably the best way to describe it. Yeah.
Wow.
Riptide would have been at first shocked, and then when this ghost turned around and it's this young woman in a fair amount of anguish, her reaction would be go from like shock to sympathy. But
yeah, taking half a second after that for people to calm down, Wolf would then turn around and say, I recognise the symbol that was on her. Was it like a brooch or was it like a thing on her outfit?
It'd be like a I don't want to say like a brand because that does not give the vibe at all.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like a it's almost like kind of like, you know, when you go into a bakery and they have their shirt on and it has like the name of the bakery.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Like that.
It's
like the Mackie DC shirt. That's
yeah.
The easiest way of describing it, yeah.
If you've ever been to fancy McDonald's, they have the logo on their shirt. The logo was Sir Kilpatrick's symbol of his house, the person that the Dragonborn was talking about. So I think it's probably related to that somehow. The book.
Yeah. I'm just going to post it into general what it looks like. It's not going to let me do that. Okay. Let me just screen grab it. I don't know why it says copy image and then
I know it's
like, you can't copy this image. Fuck you.
Because you have to open it in like a separate page. It's weird.
I hate it. Just I've got to open fucking snipper tools like a barbarian.
You are playing with
goddamn savage. Okay, I've got that, and I will post it into general. This is what the book looks like. It's quite thick. It's like a bound. It's a little bit more extravagant than I described it. But the logo on the front, the tree, is the logo that would have been on her.
Okay. So that book is. Kudo.
Yeah.
You have a mage hand, correct?
Yeah.
Can you use the mage hand to open or grab the book and open it, maybe?
Sure. I will do that.
Before we do that, can I try to recollect what happens if you open like a grimoire or like a spell book or something like that? Like, can it be trapped or something?
I mean, they could be, but this is a. I mean, yeah.
Is the book locked? Can we see if there's a lock on it?
You can see there's a clasp on it, but it's not. It's not closed.
Okay.
Like it could be locked, but it's very much like a. It's like what if Lou were to try and break it open? She wouldn't even have to break out a thief, so she could probably do it with a fingernail.
Okay.
Like it's one of those like I don't know if you've ever seen like the kiddie ones, and like there's like a little button you press in and it literally disengages the locking mechanism. There may well have been a key, but it's purely for show.
Okay.
But yeah, so Kudo leans. So you lifting the book out of the thing. What is it you are doing with it?
Moving it over.
Okay. Yeah, the book moves fine. And if you open it up and you like scan through it, it appears whatever's written in there is handwritten. So it's kind of like a diary. At first, this would have all been blank, and the handwriting at the start is really messy. Like they were holding the pen in their closed fist, like a toddler trying their first letters kind of thing. As you flip through the first few pages of this, and it's just the word. There's like one word repeated over and over again, and there's like slight improvement over every couple of lines. It's the word Sarah.
Sarah. How do you spell
Sarah. Sarah.
Okay. Oh, it's different spellings, so I'll just make sure. What?
Sorry.
Like my aunt is called Sarah, and there's no H at the end of her name.
That's Sarah then.
But it's yeah. Sure.
So yeah, it's that word over and over and over again. And so there's a like every so often there's like a slight improvement. Like the A's, like after a while they take the same form, and by like the fourth, fifth page as you're scanning through it, the word is like uniform. So like passive insight or intelligence over 13, it looks like someone's learning how to write their name.
Yeah.
Are you carrying on reading? Are you carrying on reading it?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So as you scan through it, you realise. So after she's got her first name right, she starts writing her full name. The full name is Sarah Peters. Peters spelled the normal way to spell Peters. Peters. And that goes up again for a couple of pages, like one or two this time. She seems to be picking up on this very, very quickly. And as you scan through, the next few pages seem to be a very, very simple chore diary. So like there's, wash floors, and then that's like very, very neatly written and then scored through. Clean windows, very, very neatly written and scored through. Shopping lists with like ticks next to certain things. And then you scan through it. Let's get some intelligence rolls. Let's get some investigation. So I don't want to just read this to you for verbatim. Whoever is doing the primary reading of this, could they give me a investigation check, please?
Mine is +3. I don't know if anyone else is higher, but never mind.
I have +9.
Jesus Christ.
Kudo starts reading through it.
Wait, I will use advantage on this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
20.
Nice.
Okay,
My passive is 16, but 20 is great.
Yeah, 20. So at first, like you start reading through it, and you're like, I'm going to read every single goddamn page of this, and get all the information I need. But like you scan through it, and this is very at first is super detail light. And so you're able to skim through it really quickly to get like relevant information that's different. So most of the book is a simple chore diary, as I said, about keeping a manor clean. The manor in question, you are able to learn from context clues and names that are written like a number of times, in big block letters as they attempt to write out these particular names. Sarah Peters was a servant of Sir John Kilpatrick and his wife, Lady Jolie Stark. Jolie, Joely. Stark, as in Iron Man. One thing, Kudo, you notice immediately is there are no dates in this diary. It's just it's written in the order of like the thought she had.
What was the wife's name? Sorry,
Jolie, Joely, Stark,
Yeah.
Stark. There's no dates in there. In there, kind of about 3/4, or no, not even that, about a third of the way through, there's a little passageway about like a little glowing thanks about how lovely it was for Lady Jolie to give Sarah this book and teach her how to write. And it goes on to explain that Lady Jolie was also quite poor growing up, and so to help the servants along, Lady Jolie has empowered them to learn how to read and write, because that is not a guaranteed thing to have for servants. The kids, a number of kids that are mentioned in there. There's a family. Let's just get the names. The 3 kids are mentioned: Cooper, Peter, and DJ. So Cooper, Cooper, Peter, again the normal spelling of Peter, and DJ, the letters D and J. Though that seems to be a nickname.
Like a short version.
Yeah, a nickname. Yeah. What else you learn with that Nat 20? The diary was. Oh well, so the 20. So the diary is over a couple of years. So it mentions the birth of DJ, and then refers to her like doing things that a child would do, like a young child would do. So the diary clearly lasts over a number of years. So it like refers to Christmas, well, whatever the equivalent of Christmas is, a few times. And towards the end of it, like I'm assuming you skip like towards the end.
Yeah.
The last few entries, and the style and the tone changes as Sarah becomes more and more confident with writing, and becomes more like a normal, like a normal diary. And she begins to write of her like concerns that she has, that Sir Kilpatrick's been traveling a lot, not spending a lot of time with his family, spending more and more time working on a project with an artificer from the north, noting down the name as Weird Biddle.
Oh Jesus!
So she spells the name wrong. She's Weird Biddle, like she wouldn't have a clue the made up names. And then the last, so she writes notes about him.
Wait! Didn't we have some kind of NPC with Weird Iddle Biddle?
Weird Biddle Skittle.
Yeah,
How the fuck do I spell that actually? How did she spell it, sorry?
So she wrote it Weird Biddle.
Okay.
So like as in weird, but you would know his name is Weir, Weir.
I just find it in my notes, Adam.
So the normal way you would spell Biddle Skittle.
Can I make a check to see if this is in any form? What was Weird Iddle Skittle again?
He was well, you've never met him.
We know he's like a gnome artificer. Right?
You know he's like a gnome artificer. So you've come across his name a few times. The first time you came across his name was right at the beginning of the campaign, and then you heard it most of all when you were in the city, and it became apparent. I don't know if I actually told you this information. I'm fairly confident I did. That he was at one point employed by the Black Rock Tally to create the magical wands and shit that were causing such havoc. He is also the person who made the
tablets.
The tablets, like the
and that
Samsung
boat
tablets. Thing. And the boat thing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I make a check to see if this is the two are related, like the one we heard of?
I mean,
I think he gave you that.
With a 20, it looks like she just didn't know how to spell that weird name. That
okay.
Yeah. I mean, she talks about a project with an artificer from the north. You would know he's an artificer from the north. And Weird Biddle Skittle is not a million miles from Weird Biddle. She writes about Sir Kilpatrick's just like burying himself in books, and even when he's at home, which is like increasingly unusual, he's like secluded himself. He's obsessed. He's completely focused on this project that he's been working on. And the very final entry to the diary reads, I stole close to Lord John today and saw that he had chalked a circle marked with strange runes across the floor of his study. A puddle
close to what? What did you say?
I stole close to Lord John. I tell you what, I will post it when I finish saying it, yeah?
Okay, sorry.
Okay. I stole close to Lord John today and saw that he had chalked a circle marked with strange runes across the floor of his study. A puddle spread within the circle and appeared to me as a bubbling blood. Lord John stood next to it motionless, one of his vile books in hand, and muttered something I could not hear. I slipped away quickly, though I fear he may have heard me this time. I have never been so scared, but I must tell Lady Jolie what I have seen. I must. And then she has drawn a quick scrawl of this representation of a rune, which looks like an eye.
Oh.
Does it seem familiar to me?
Yeah, if you'd like to roll history checks.
Thank you. 5 beans of dead check.
Ooh.
Nope. 6, you don't remember. Cat Bunny, you do. Wolf, you don't. Well, that's a 2. That is horrible to see.
I have a +0, so it's like,
Yeah, I know. It's just rough to see, isn't it? Your bad rolls have not dissipated at all since.
I'm
last
aware,
week,
James.
That's just bad news, man.
I've rolled okay today, actually.
Yeah, it just seems low. Azalea, are you rolling also? Maybe something. Okay, we'll come back to her. Yeah, so Lou and Bun, you both would recognise this. In fact, you saw a very, very similar
place.
So a very, very similar drawing of an eye, though it was coloured.
It was
ochre in the house, the very first haunted house you visited. A very similar
in the carpet,
symbol,
right?
In the carpet.
Yeah.
And Lou, thinking about it a bit harder, you would have seen this symbol in the far north as well. Like you're racking your mind to think about it. It's when you were probably on a mission, like when you were on a job, like that would have taken you from the nets kind of to the Rathon Peaks. You would have perhaps seen it there. With a 15, you're struggling to remember the specifics, but you know that there was this cult. Not cult, that's not the right word. Like a collection of different thinkers who came together to experiment in what's the word, to like normalize magic, to make the extremes of magic very normal to people. So spells like mass teleportation, gate, those spells that only the highest level wizards can cast, only those super powerful people. These people who were not quite at that level wanted that power for themselves and to also distribute it somehow. But with that comes a lot of worry, because there are other spells that could be cast which aren't quite as chill as Gate, for example.
But I know that if these people were part would I know if these people
You keep cutting out. Sorry.
God damn it.
Try again. Oh, he's typing. Okay. This is always really awkward to have someone typing in live, because it makes you seem like the slowest typer in the world. Would I know if these people might have been part of the Aspiring Grove? These people would not be part of the Aspiring Grove. These would be a much more elusive, exclusive, and secretive group. These people would be a group that, if you were to you may have encountered them once or twice, and they are the battiest of batty, conspiracy theory-esque type people who it's only Big Goodbury who say that we can't grow these things ourselves in fields, birds aren't real, and haven't been since the 50s.
Conspiracists.
Yeah, kind of the very the echo chamber thinking. They wouldn't bring in outsiders unless they absolutely had to, and they would call the Opera Eye.
How old would they have been? Would I have known it from anything before, or would it have been?
Ooh,
We're hitting James with the hard questions now.
No, I don't. I think you'd remember it from the house, but I don't think you'd remember it from before.
Okay, cool. Just had to check.
I'm just trying to think. I can't imagine that Laffy would know this. I'm trying to think. I can't see her knowing this in my
I'm just thinking, because sometimes when you see a certain thing or like smell a certain smell and it like pulls you back to a memory. I was just thinking maybe there was something from before.
This is slightly more contemporary than that. This would be. I don't think this would have been something that Laffy would have encountered. It would have been in the last. Well, no, I can't see Laffy seeing this one, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what you know when you see this this symbol. It's a very basic drawing. Yeah. So as you were kind of there reading through this. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's what you learned from that.
Guys, I've seen this symbol before.
Where?
I was doing a job in Rathlon Peaks, and this group of, let's say, out-of-the-box thinkers wanted to normalize the extremes of magic, and attempt to achieve that they use this symbol. Something, a ritual with this symbol. I don't know specifically how that works, but I know it's very bad news.
Do you know the name of them?
Yeah, I think it was. What was the name? Sorry, James.
The
of the
Okra
group?
Eye.
The Okra Eye.
Would I have heard of
Not
that?
like that?
I think it came up before.
I don't think,
it came up
I
in-
think I would have remembered heard the name. I don't think we've known the name.
Okay. But then no. You. wouldn't-
Ochre isn't the color.
Hang on.
No,
Wait, no.
sorry,
that is-
I spelled that wrong.
Can you roll history on this one? Sorry, Wolf.
Hold on.
So you might have done.
Yeah, 1 second. I can't spell.
You do get advantage.
I do get advantage. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, history with advantage.
Yes.
18.
Yeah, you would have heard mention of them in the Midnight Hunt. It was long, like a while ago, like not recently. Nothing in the last kind of 10, 15 years, or 20. It's like an old mention of a potential. Like there was concern that there was rumors of a like an undead force massing in the north under the name Okra Eye, but like when it was investigated, they couldn't find anything. But there was like real concern about it. Like they were worried that a lich had appeared, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when they investigated, they found no evidence of undead. Like they just couldn't find it anywhere.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I don't know what to. That's good information. No. What? I guess Wolf just begins like. So as the ghost sort of, it just jumped out, grabbed something, and vanished.
Yeah, so it's like it came together, misted around this particular book, like lunged, tried to go through you, but like just dissipated and just very similar to. I've used it a lot. Same thing that happened to the dragon, same thing that happened to Chicken. Just like lost form and just like dust. Like Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
Kind of,
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
Can I try to see if there's something behind Wolf or like in the direction she lunged towards to see if there was something?
Well, behind me is all of you.
Yeah. So
No, I meant
was
like
in front.
in the room itself, not like us specifically, like on the wall, a cabinet or something like that.
Well, she was
You
down.
can make a perception check, but
Can I-
Wolf would have a better idea of.
Yeah.
what
So she was looking sort of Kudo rusty height, so below us. Which could be something behind them. Can I look where the book was?
Yeah, sure.
Perception investigation.
Yeah, what was it you're looking for?
Looking for any. No, that's sort of very stereotypical, like hidden button
Trapdoors?
or not trapdoors, like where like on the shelf, like a hidden button or like some writing, some text, something scrawled in beneath it, something like that.
Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, as Wolf's looking there, can I, as Laffy, just like jump out of the bag and check for any loose floorboards?
Yeah, sure. Can you both make investigation or perception checks?
Make this perception.
Cat, do you use the
Jesus.
cat's
No.
scores for
I think you
perception?
can choose. I think it's just with whichever's higher in that case.
If they get a
Well,
physical
you get-
benefit,
You get keen smell, so you get an advantage on perception
on
checks,
smell.
but that rely on smell.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say you were sniffing for fresh air or musty air or something. I'd allow that. Yeah.
I
if you
have
want
used
to.
my advantage, have I? I don't think I have,
Yeah.
actually.
No, I got that one with us.
I can't remember.
Well, I don't think I have. I won't use it anyway, but also my passive is 16, but I rolled
Yeah.
12.
You don't. The floorboards are not loose. They're very sturdy. You can see, like in the corner, closer to the entrance near where you paid the books, there was a trapdoor behind the till.
Mhm.
That's where it was.
Like
He
storage
described
area.
it as being like a storage area. He didn't think that had anything to do with the ghost. And with your 12, you don't see anything there. It's the mist that coalesced was coalescing. I will give you this, was coalescing around the book, not the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, I was just making sure. Can I... Lou, do you think you could... I can help. See if maybe there's a cipher or a hidden page, a hidden compartment in the book, something we're missing?
Sure. But keep in mind, magic is not my expertise.
And no, it's not mine either.
Yeah, I'll do an investigation check on the
And I will
book.
give her advantage.
Mhm.
Because I'm professional with investigation.
Oh, you give me advantage, okay.
I will. 22.
22. That's pretty good.
27.
Holy shit. You look for ciphers. You can't see anything like that. The information that I've given you is all the information you can wring from the book. So I say the Kilpatrick family was a well-established family in the town. There were the husband, the wife, a number of servants, Sarah being one of them, 3 kids, and then the diary ends abruptly as she has seen Sir Kilpatrick growing more and more obsessed with the project he was working on, writing a rune on the floor that had this weird, bubbling, oilish blood.
Well, you
kind of
said Lord
goo.
John.
Lord John Kilpatrick.
Lord John. Oh, I didn't know his first name.
Sorry, I if I hadn't meant that, I apologize.
I didn't know
but
that.
it was
When
John Kilpatrick.
Thank you.
the ghost appeared, did it have any visible wounds on it, what
Well,
could
the
be
tongue was
described
ripped
as
out,
the cause
wasn't
of
The
death?
tongue was gone. I didn't go into any other detail.
Okay.
But
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
because I think Lou would know that having your cut tongue doesn't necessarily mean you die. It's more like a punishment for
Mhm.
something you have spoken
yeah,
or
something
something
you've
like
done
that.
wrong.
Yeah. Can I make a... Nah, yeah, does it describe where this room was that the ritual was being used in?
That's a good question. I
Short
think
circle.
it did.
It doesn't. In his study.
In his study, yeah.
Okay, I guess we could ask about that, but it's, it has been years.
It's been years. We
Did.
don't know. I mean, we'll probably find the house. I suggest before we leave, we should check downstairs in the basement. Just in case. Then possibly looking around the town. I'm not sure what else we can find. I think Lord Kilpatrick. There's the house presumably somewhere in the city, and the tower that I saw, which is presumably his tower. So that could also be a lead.
You would also know. I mean, this was Wolf had heard about this as a kid. I don't know how old. I think Wolf's 24. She would have been
27.
10. Oh, yeah. She would have been young, between 10 and 15 when this happened. You would remember hearing not specifics, but a horrible thing had happened. It probably a good, if you wanted more information, ask people. The fella who told you about it, knew about it. He did go into huge amounts of detail.
Ask someone who cares about
Yeah.
not history, recent history, town history.
Yeah. Just
Things like that.
anything, really.
Mhm.
But yeah. So, but you go downstairs. You go back behind the till and open up this thing. Underneath is again the books seem to be in cases here to protect them for potential dust and damp
something.
and stuff like that. And there seems to be lots of cases. It's very, very organized down here comparative to up top. It's once you open the trapdoor, you can see there are torches to light to give you more things. It's not like a dank, horrible cellar. It's a storage it looks like people are in and out of there fairly regularly.
Okay,
It's
so
not
I
dusty.
will just look in. Is the basement about as big as the building?
It looks to be, yeah.
Can I go to that same corner in the basement? Well, that same spot in the basement. Look around.
So you get to where you think it was, like the kind of the naughty corner, kind of like about 5 foot in away from the walls. You look down at the floor. I will use your passives for this. Unless you want to actively roll, there's no particular notes, so nothing particularly of note. There's not like a wet patch or a chill. Who's got the book, by the way?
Probably Lou or Kudo.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
probably Lou's the last person who's holding it. So probably her.
Yeah, I'll keep the book. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the chill feeling that you felt lessens as you move further away from Lou. So it's like the book is the focus
specifically. Okay. So I'll mention that to the group so everyone knows it's the book rather than the spot. I think because if Lou walks away from the spot and we go to the corner where is it still cold? Or is it just...
I mean, so when Lou's moved away from the book, even the naughty, like he's on the naughty corner, even that corner like loses that.
Okay, so it is clearly the book. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Like without, even with your passage, you'll work that out. Like,
is there a shift in temperature from the book as I go walking around? Like,
no, and it's not like frigid. It's not like the inside of the monk's temple. It's just got like a really unpleasant.
You shiver
vibe
slightly.
To it. Yeah, just like it isn't room temperature. It's below room temperature. Like as you feel it, it might like if you were to touch it. What the hell? Yeah, it's almost like ASMR in it. As you touch the book, it would give you like maybe like goose flesh because of the slight coldness of it.
Okay.
Okay. Well then,
maybe if we,
suggestion.
yeah, the only thing I could still think about is maybe looking at the book of the that like the books that we saw. Maybe there's like something about magical rituals, but I honestly doubt it.
I don't think so. I think the best option is to ask around, maybe find someone who's interested in town history, who would know something about that. Or how far away is the tower?
It's like 2 or 3 miles. Like you can get there within an hour. It's like, well, yeah, I'd say 5 miles, like an hour and a half. You'd be able to get
well,
there.
I think either asking around, see if people know anything about Lord Kilpatrick and his family, or go directly to the tower, maybe ask around on the way there. Possibly.
Yeah, I could see that. Can I do intelligence check to know maybe the reasons why a spirit would linger?
I would say Arcana.
Can I help with this maybe? Because this feels like it's again semi in her wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. You can either give her advantage. I think it might make more sense for you to roll yourself though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you have told us that you see spirits yet.
Well, I mean, can summon fucking ghosts. So.
Yeah, there's that, and also.
There is summon ghosts, and there is I regularly speak and interact with.
A couple of you have seen the candle thing. I forget who it was though.
No, I think it was.
Seen it.
Yeah, I think only Laffy and Ripta.
Where? Nice.
19. So with the 17 and a 19, like obviously Lou, okay, so a couple of things here. I say ghosts aren't super normal. The main towns are protected by Hallow, all of them. The main towns and cities and dwellings are protected by Hallow that's cast regularly by powerful either clerics, or items are shipped into certain areas, so Hallow can be cast repeatedly. So undead do not just like pop up out of the ground. It's like that's unheard of. That's like the main reason for this like side economy of magical items that come down from the Clouded Spire. The out in the wilds, it's obviously a little bit more different. So to see a ghost at all is very unusual. For you, Lou, with a 17, you'd know normal stuff for ghosts like unfinished business, but more specifically with a 19 for Azalea, you would know that it's like if someone died an especially traumatic death and their remains had not been dealt with, like in a like laid to rest kind of, so say for example, if the body was scattered, like malicious, costly. Torment in the afterlife, like a soul could be locked on the plane, and it would have to be like really harrowing to be powerful enough to circumvent the Hallow. Like the problem, like the issue of them being here would be because of something very, very powerful for them to be able to overcome the Hallow. It would be beyond like the scope of a normal soul to overcome that. It would be they are held here by something more powerful.
Oh, I assume Azealia like shares this information.
Yeah, I think she shares it, and then do we want to talk to the ghost and maybe find a way to help it?
Well, it just vanished.
Well, I assume we could maybe with
Rattle some windows, maybe bring it back.
or something like that. Wait, actually, I lean down towards Laffy. Do you have locate object prepared? Because then we could maybe locate her corpse and get clues from that.
She can't respond because she's in wild
Well, you can.
But she'd also have
meow
to come
once,
out of.
yes,
You can
twice,
understand
no.
us, and you can nod as a cat.
Yeah, but she'd also have to come out of it to cast it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, she would cat nod.
Okay. Oh, and please stay away from Harold. He is really scared of you right now.
Fucking Harold exists. Jesus Christ.
You are
He's
leaning
off
down
in the
to
past,
her.
yeah.
I thought he died.
Yeah, but just in case, you know.
Okay, so I'll say this, right? As Lou, you are having this thought, and you are saying this to Laffy. The book, the mists start to accumulate around the book again, and this figure very, very slowly comes into solidarity, like it comes into form and steps forward around the book. Like Conquer said, she's like her hand is over her mouth and she's reaching out. She looks harrowed. She's not having the best day, and she's looking around and she's like she's mouthing something, but she can't articulate it. It's just like this mumble, this mush.
Can we
This
read
word
the
soup
lips?
comes out. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad shout. You could probably like make an attempt to read. What the problem is as well is she's like her face is she's in agony. Like you can see marks around her neck as well that are like covered a little bit. So it looks like her tongue was taken out, and then perhaps her throat was slit. Her face is like cut up a little bit. So she's like trying to scream these words out. But it's just nonsense. She's gesturing outside. She's clearly trying to communicate. The form is shuffling again. She's looking around desperately.
There's two things I want to try and do. If she's talking, or if she's attempting to talk, can I read her lips? The second one is I want to grab some parchment and like a quill or something so she can write with. Maybe not her, but just like I don't know, guiding movements, or like how in movies and TV shows a ghost will like use magic or whatever to write with.
She tries to grab the pen and her hand like dissipates through it, like as it approaches.
Okay,
it like she can't.
So I don't want to do too many things, but can I, because my thing specifies a creature, can I make a telepathic connection with her so she doesn't have to speak, she can just think it?
Okay. You try to make a telepathic connection. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oof, I can't have advantage on this. 11.
Okay. So
I'm gonna leave it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah. You try to connect with it, and you are just assaulted by this just scream, and you take 6 points of psychic damage. It's not like targeted. It's just
I'm resistant to
like,
psychic, so I take 3.
I have an idea.
It's not an attack. It's like
it's just the amount of it. Yeah.
I do have an idea, but it's not really how the class feature works, but I think the flavor works. Is that I have the Whispers of the Dead feature from my class,
Ooh.
and I haven't used it to change my proficiency today. So I want to see if I could try to use like sort of that connection I usually have with spirits and ghostly presences and the like, to like try to have her share some of her knowledge with me. about
Okay.
what to obey.
Okay, so what does that look like? Because this is different to how I thought this was going. This is interesting. So, what does that? How are you gonna like sell this to me in terms of what it is? What is it you do?
Yeah.
'Cause I will tell you how I pictured it first. So I literally pictured it like the ghosts of those people around you that have died and stuff are literally like stood behind you, very much like Azalea's thing, like whispering the information to you. Whereas this is like this is something a little bit different. But if you can like flavor sell it to me, I might be down for it.
Yeah, so I did mention the previous time that Lou has the cracked porcelain like a wound on her nape where you can see part of like a ghostly skeleton, sort of like something like that. So she's going to lower her and present the mark towards the so that she can reach inside of the wound and share part of her knowledge that way.
Okay, that is really that's quite interesting. So you do that. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Yes.
Here's a picture of the poor girl, by the way. I've got a picture.
Oh, 19's great.
19's great.
Yeah.
So you don't take any psychic damage, but you are overwhelmed almost by this just cacophony of words, thoughts, feelings, names, sensations. So you are hit by this overwhelming like anguish and pain, and this feeling of like you've just bitten your tongue. That horrible feeling there of like this pain in your neck, your throat rather. You are given the name of. There's a name that's like seared. Where the bloody hell is it?
That's
so the one of the names that's like burnt into your brain is Sir Vecken. So it's like absolutely like scarred into your brain. This name, but that like it's not like a name she's afraid of. Vecken, Vecken.
Okay.
And that's like a name that like the feeling you get from that is this feeling of warmth and safety. You get the name Feral, Faerl, Feral. Let's say Feral, which is like a name that she is wary of and scared of. And there's this like this feeling of incompleteness that she is not put to rest. Like she wants to be put to rest. She is like looking around frantic, and her eyes land on your little boy Rusty. And she kind of staggers towards him and kind of lunges at him again. And she kind of again vanishes, but instead of like puffing into the distance, it's like she pours into him. And Rusty keels over backwards and faints.
Oh.
I'm coming out of wild shape.
Can you tell me the name of that guy for Feral?
Faerl. I was really tempted to rename him, but I didn't have time or the inclination then.
Feral.
So now I have a name I can't pronounce.
Feral. Like unfurl.
Feral. Yeah.
Yeah, Lou like collapses to like visibly like almost staggers and like cold sweat like like completely like completely drained from the forceful.
Yeah, knowing what
Laffy's
gonna do, Wolf like not tosses, but grabs out the bag so she can get out watch up easily.
Yeah. She's like next to Rusty within seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. His eyes are closed. He's breathing normally. He doesn't appear to be in any pain.
Rusty, so he just
Can
like
I do like a medicine check to figure out what just happened, or something, or like a check, some arcana or something? I'm panicking. The player, me, I am panicking.
Okay, you can do medicine or arcana check. Completely up to you.
Is there any way I can help? Medicine. I don't have.
Medicine.
Mama Bear's coming out again. Let's go.
So with a 20, right?
Wolf would be trying to help how she could, but.
So Rusty, I've explained before. I cartoon him. I kind of like Batmanify his idiocy slightly and make him like overly simplistic. The only time you've seen him like this is like how he is now, because he isn't like he's asleep, right? His breathing is regular. He kind of gets this way as he's like focused on something really intently, like he's in a fight that he's not super pissed, like you've not been hurt but he wants to end this fight. He's not angry, he's just focused on it. This is him at his like peak. But his body language and his face have changed ever so slightly, and his eyes are like fluttering. It's almost like he's fainted, except his breathing is normal. He isn't hurt, which is a big one, and his eyes open slightly and they're like trying to come into focus, but it's like his eyes aren't working in a way that should be normal to him.
So Laffy's just gonna like pull him into a position where like she's sat on the floor and his head is like on like maybe her lap or something, just so he's like comfortable and like try and
like gets out like some water if he needs a drink and like a
Yeah.
snack or something. Just sitting next to him.
This is gonna sound really weird because again I'm comparing it to my dog, but Daxter has seizures and I have to be really calm when he does, because otherwise it makes him worse and then he seizes more. So I feel like Laffy in a similar sense would be trying to stay very calm while internally she's screaming.
That's how Wolf helps. She like rubs
Yeah.
Laffy's back, try and calm her down. Slightly.
He sits there for a minute and is like blinking, and normally when he blinks, he frog blinks
One at a time.
one at a time.
Yeah.
He's now
Honestly.
blinking like I won't say a normal person because he's a weird.
Both
little
eyes at the
kobold.
same time.
Both eyes at the same. He's blinking. He's no longer. frog
Is she in
That's
in
what
the
I'm
least?
thinking.
Yeah, she's in there, isn't she?
You
What
could
was her name?
roll
Sarah.
Arcana.
Sarah.
You could try an Arcana check.
Can I also try?
Oh, buddy.
Have advantage because Faithin's undead.
You
A
would have
little
advantage
boy.
at 24.
Another one.
Yeah.
I'll try. I mean, it doesn't matter. Oh,
Anytime.
18. I actually worked pretty well.
Anytime I have to do a check with Rusty, it's always stupidly high.
You would assume with a 24, I will say this. Yeah, the act that you just saw, I won't say possession, because that is
Puppeteering.
that has a
Bad
vibe to
conversation.
it that isn't completely true to what's just happened. It was more of a unspoken invitation. There is room in here for two.
Oh.
That's
That's
what
weird.
she thinks. Out.
Okay. We
So he's like blinking. Well, they are blinking. He's like he opens his mouth to talk, and his
So confused.
tongue, which is slightly too long, like completely just falls out of his mouth, like bleh.
Oh!
Like not like drops
Oh.
out, but like his
Jesus.
tongue
James,
is
you said that. I thought bad things.
yeah, like his tongue like
So
Is
tongue
too
falls
long
out of
for
his
his
mouth,
mouth.
James. Tongue falls out of the mouth makes you think someone's tongue fell out of their mouth.
yeah, I know, but his tongue rolls from his mouth, still attached, like, and he tries to talk, but his mouth is full of like he's like bleh.
Can I make the connection with Rusty and say, "Is everything alright?" In this
Again, it's noise, but this time you prepare for it.
yes. But can I get anything from it? Do I hear like
It's that exact same like screaming noise that's like starting to like calm down slightly, but it's still like very noisy in there. You can hear Rusty's voice. In fact, can you make how are we going to do this? This is a funny one.
how do you want to do this?
Okay, and I'll give it to you. Okay, so you hear the two voices in there. One is like like this anguished howl that you heard, like when the ghost appeared and when you tried to connect with her first of all.
Mm-hmm.
You can also hear Rusty's voice in there, and he's like, you hear him saying like, "She won't calm down. She won't calm down. She just needs to calm down. She just needs to be calm. She just needs to be. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be fine."
You sure?
He can't hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
she's
she probably still hears. Are you sure? Either of them, if either of them can hear. But then she sort of like breaks that connection, looks back to the group, and says, "I hear both of them in there." Rusty says that she needs to calm down. She won't calm down. She just needs to be calmed down. I'm fine. I don't know if that's. I would assume that's him. It sounds like him. But I also hear that same loud scream.
Okay. Lou is going to basically kneel down next to Rusty's form, and in the most calm voice she can, which is basically completely neutral, it's like, "Do not worry. We will try to free you from this current imprisonment. We will make sure that Furl and what was that name? Vector of Becker?
Vecken.
Becken will not be able to hurt you in any shape or
the
way.
only thing I'll mention is when you got the name Sir Veckin, there was a feeling of warmth and safety.
When you say, I'm going to retcon this fella's name. We're going to call him Furl, right? We're just going to say Furl.
F-E-R-L.
F-U-R-L.
Fuck
yeah,
you.
Furl. Yeah, fuck that guy. He's got a stupid name and he's an arsehole.
Oh,
Right,
Furl is the bad.
Furl she didn't like. Vecna, Veckin she did.
not Vecna.
She really liked Veckin. When
Okay.
when the name Veckin is spoken out loud, the eyes like kind of somehow work their way to Lou, and like there's like a there's a nod, and like you can tell this whatever's going on, someone is trying to like Veckin is Veckin. So the voice that comes out isn't Rusty's. It's like using Rusty's engine and equipment, but it is not carried in the same way. It's like it's higher, and they are trying to control the speech impediment that he has.
Wolf, parchment, and
Okay, yeah. Wolf shares that parchment nearby. She just hands it to Rusty.
Wait, Rusty has
Sorry.
4 fingers, right?
Rusty can hold a pen.
No,
He's-
but I don't think it's the same having 5 fingers and then
Yeah, he's
you know,
got very stubby
4
little
chubby
hands.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks at it and tries to hold it, and he kind of like shakes and goes, "It's like just give me a moment. It's been a long time, and it's been so long. It's been so long."
Wolf, can you try to telepathy or?
I just did. I've tried again.
So it's calmed down a bit in there, and you hear Rusty is like when you join in, it's like a 3-way conversation.
Uh-huh.
Rusty is talking to this person and like keeping her calm and like calming her down. Like, it's okay, my friends will help. They'll look after you, and they'll make sure Lassie's really nice, and Wolf is nice, and Azalea is nice, and Ziptide is nice, and Kido is nice, and Lou's here too.
I've been really good this session. You can.
It doesn't make up for the other 25.
Yeah, it's like, no, and they're all really nice, and they will help. And you can, if you need, you can use my sword and my arms. I don't mind. I can, as long as we are protecting Lassie, that's the main thing. And this woman is like communicating, kind of like with him, kind of like in that psychic way. And she's saying, I knew you would let me in. Oh, there's a third person here. We should communicate outside the body so everyone can hear. And they say, the Rusty's body says out loud, says, "Sorry for, whoa, I'm so sorry for making such a scene, but I had to try and use this creature's form. I could sense his very, very pure heart, and I didn't want to take over a player character. And so he allowed me in, and he's allowing me to communicate through him." And she looks up at Laffy like one eye at a time, and she's like, I didn't mean to alarm you. I'm sorry. I've never tried this before."
I think Laffy would look a mixture of like stern but also compassionate, and I don't know how that would look, but she's also like
Stern, passionate.
yeah. No, but I think she'd have like this very like look on her face, and she'd just say like, just please be careful with him.
He's still here. If you like, I can let him talk to you.
It's okay. She'd like look at everybody else like she's stressed.
Wolf's just like holding both like Laffy's hand and like 2 of her hands. It just says,
Azalea's hands reaching in for her weed pouch.
Wolf just says,
I'm gonna need some of that.
Wolf just like hold cups Laffy's hand, just looks at her and says, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think it's all right.
You see, like the person who is in charge of Rusty trying to like get up as you say this, like get to their feet, but they are not used to such stubby arms and legs, and they get up to like stand up and then just end up doing like a forward roly-poly. And like just like completely failing on all counts to use their body like
Buffy's just
properly.
gonna wince at this. Like
No, it's not her. It's like watching like a sofa surfing toddler.
no, I know, but it's like when you have like a toddler and they start walking and they fall over, and you're like, "Oh, be careful, please."
Yeah, it's not far to fall though. And he's like they're trying, and after like 30 seconds or so of trying, they like manage to stand there, and it's like they're stood on a really like bowy ship.
Mm-hmm.
I like legs really far apart, arms out, and like trying to like balance themselves. And she says, "Thank you. I knew eventually someone would come to help. I've been trapped with that book for so long now."
Do you wish me to destroy the book?
No, that's the only way I have to communicate. It's the only way I could see to be put to rest. I'm linked to the book, and if you were to destroy it, I'd just be adrift.
I very carefully put the book in my backpack so that it's safe.
Thank you. I'm Sarah. I'm Sarah Peters. No, I was killed years ago. My tongue was ripped from my mouth. It was all. I can't remember who did it. I can't remember where. It was so horrible. Will you help?
We will. Like, looks at everyone. Try. With like a questioning
Like,
tone.
put her gaze doesn't shift. She strictly on. We will help.
Thank you. It's been so long. Me and my friends, the poor family, just all gone in one night, and they're.
Well, just breathe. Just breathe. We don't need to talk about it right now. We can stop for a moment if you need it.
She, I'm gonna say she because it is at the moment a woman in there. Kind of leans forward to try and put her hands on her knees to like breathe, as is a normal human thing. Kind of face plants, but it's fine. He doesn't fall far. Like stops himself. It's like this body. I thought I'd be able to use it better, but it's so different. And then she realizes she has a tail.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What the fuck? Do you mind if we talk to Rusty for a moment?
No, I will have trying to get I'll say control, but I mean the use of the body. So if he does any strange movements, it's because I'm trying to do it. But yeah, of course, Rusty. And as she starts talking, Rusty, like it's a really weird thing. Like the lips are forming one word, but like two voices are coming out. And then Rusty's just there, and he goes, "Don't worry, Lassie, I'm fine. I let her in. It's fine."
Can I insight this as he's talking? Just to
sure.
make sure. 17.
I mean, the body at this point is doing some really weird stuff. Like it's like marching
I'm just trying to
around.
tell if Rusty is speaking like Rusty would speak, or it's he's forcing the words out like he's being controlled to say those things.
I see what you mean. You're not 100%. You can't get a good like. You think you got a good read on them, but like because of the weird things the body is doing, like it's like you are. Imagine you were go-karting trying to hold a conversation, or driving and trying to hold a conversation, and every so often somebody would change gear for you. I'll not give you any warning. And so he's clearly like.
So I'm just staring at his face. I'm looking at I'm staring at his face and I'm listening to how he's speaking. I know how Rusty speaks, and I'm trying to see if there's a difference other than like the occasional whoa, I'm falling over.
I will say you with your high insight, Rusty's trying. You can tell Rusty's trying to persuade, but he's like distracted. Things are not going his way.
So he's it's clearly not like he's being controlled to say these things.
No.
Okay,
you get the feeling that his that part of it is true.
Can I hold my hand out to Rusty for him, gesturing to do the handshake?
Yes, hang on 1 minute. She's just and then there's this like moment of like the eyes completely like defocus, like utterly, almost like the power's gone off, and then they focus back in, and Rusty as he would normally walk, like waddles over and does the like the little handshake, whatever. What I can't remember. We did have a thing for it, but I can't remember what it is now.
I imagine it's like the thumb thing.
Oh, the moo thumb thing.
Yeah, like the thing that you do before you do a thumb war.
Oh right. Okay. Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Fist
And then like like he does it, and he looks up and he goes, and I know you're scared, but it's not her. It's not her. She's not the one we need to be scared of. She's scared, and that's why I let her in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to be worried about it. I'm fine. And if she said if there's danger, she would said that she would like me to take in because she didn't think she could fight like I could fight. But she hasn't had a walk about for years, so I thought I'd let her have a walk.
That's very nice of you.
What's that?
That's
Probably the audio bit.
Yeah.
So obviously I can hear it in your voice that you are concerned. And
no,
so
James, she's fine.
Yeah,
this is all fine.
Rusty's gonna roll an insight. 1 second. 18.
Oh, wow.
I think he's gonna pick up on this. And he's gonna not let go of your hand. And he's gonna keep holding your hand and squeeze it. And he's gonna say, it's important that if I know you said about not believing strangers, but she's not a stranger. I've seen everything she's seen, and she needs our help. Don't be scared. She said if it's dangerous, she'll let me go. She doesn't want me to get hurt either. But some things are worth getting hurt for. But she doesn't think I won't let anyone else get hurt.
Okay.
He's gonna squeeze your hand because I'll let her back now so you can talk to her. She's very nice. She's very sad. Okay?
She's gonna hold Laffy's other hand.
And so the eyes defocus for a minute, and then she's back, and there's the much more controlled, strict body, and she says, I'm very sorry. If you want, I can leave. It's just this is the only way I could talk. Unless another one of you want to let us in.
I feel like this is so bad because Wolf's gonna fucking.
Please don't. I know you're gonna say, please don't do that.
Oh.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
She just gives side eye to Wolf,
In
my boy.
Wolf's passive insight's high enough. She's gonna say in Laffy's head, please don't do that.
But.
She's gonna turn Laffy just so she's looking straight on at her, and just hands on her shoulders, just be like, I know that it's difficult because it's very strange. I can't, I don't know exactly how you're feeling about it. I know it's not great. But I think from what I've gathered that she's alright. And if I'm going to be honest, Rusty seems fine with it. And I don't want anyone else in your skin because of how important you are to everything.
Lean over towards not Rusty and kind of softly say, my body is more used to sharing souls, if you wish for a more familiar body, so to say.
I can show you. I mean, I really do mean him no harm. And he, so Rusty kind of raises his head to the ceiling and opens his mouth, and the wisp kind of escapes from the various what's the word? Face holes, orifices. This figure kind of very softly, not the lunge of before, much more controlled now, still looking very upset, but not wailing, and moves towards Luke. Luke, can you make me a charisma saving throw?
Charisma. It's banishment and shit, isn't it?
Okay. So It's so basically this this mist hits you, and for a moment your personality is like completely boxed off. Like this figure has just stepped in and has taken complete control. And like you have this happens in like a fraction of a second. You know that you have no way to like get back in the steering wheel. Like you've just been boxed in the corner.
So basically, a passenger in my own body.
Yeah, passenger in your own body, but only for a split second, as they realise like the footprint they're having, and they release it, and like you are both there. So for what happens on the outside is like Lou just kind of stiffens up, and there's this moment of like uncoordination with a high dexterity. Usually I assume Lou is very fluid in her movements, just like very graceful, and there's this moment of like real, just like she completely seizes up like a whole person, and then she relaxes, and in your head, Lou, you like basically there's just somebody in there that basically can like lift the right hand, and then if you wanted to, you could lower it. They could speak from your mouth, and you could also speak from your mouth. You're not like vying for control. You are both in the driver's seat. If one of you wanted to push your arm up and the other wanted to push it down, it might stop in the middle until one of you gave up.
It's like a two-person airplane.
Yeah, two-person airplane. Yeah, is the exact. Yeah, it's just a two-person puppet.
Okay. For now, I'll give her almost complete control, and that is code for me saying any room, and
that cut out then. But what she does, because I don't want to take away a player, which is why it went to Rusty. She says to the group, again in Lou's voice, but like the accent isn't quite right, because of this thing. So she says, "I am trying to show you. I can allow anybody to speak from the body. It is a vessel for me. Nothing more. Honestly, you do not need to worry. Your friend, he's very sweet, and I would not have him hurt for the world. But it is, I will say, better to be in a slightly taller form." And she tries to do a cartwell.
Oh, gee, that's a bad idea.
Can you, Lou, roll me an acrobatics check?
I think Peru's gone for the minute.
Oh.
But I think I can look at her stats.
I
have the campaign
I have the
campaign open. Oh yeah,
so 22. Yeah, so she does a perfect cartwheel, and when she comes to the other side, the mist releases, and the ghostly form is there, like stood in the middle of the room, like gesticulate, like not wildly, but like waiting, and she glances back at Rusty, and he looks up at you, Laffy, and he like tugs on you, like she doesn't mean any harm. I said she could come in.
No, I know. It's up to you, Rusty.
I think I'm gonna help her every way I can. And he kind of like without letting, well, no, he kind of squeezes your hand one last time, kind of lets it go and turns around and kind of like opens his arms towards her, and she floats towards him, and there's that moment again of tension, but it's nowhere near as pronounced as it was. He doesn't fall over. There's not even a stagger this time, and she opens his eyes. The eyes open, and he turns around, and one eye is his normal kind of like bluish hue, and one eye is would be the color of her eyes. It's got this like greenish tinge to it. So he's looking out of one eye and she's looking out of the other. And,
that's going to be confusing.
Yeah, I know, but it's only a stylistic choice. And he says that we're both here now. Yes, we're both here now. It says at the exact same time, both voices at once.
Not creepy at all.
Well, it's hard to do it when it's not creepy. Yeah, and he says, I don't. And so like Rusty, the eye stays there, but the voice that takes over now is the voice of Sarah. And she says, I don't remember what happened or where exactly. I know it was the manor, in the manor, and I know it was at night. And I know that what happened, the family, they were killed too, and those poor children, their souls are trapped here too. that's what kept me here. The thought of those poor children trapped here, their bodies scattered, and their remains taken. That they will have no rest either. We must help them. We must.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you. But not knowing exactly where, there are those here that may remember more than I will. That whatever happened to me, it was so horrible. I don't know. I must have made myself forget it. But if Vecken's still here, maybe he remembers.
You know where we could find Vecken?
Well, I know where we. Well, there's like this soft smile that you haven't seen on Rusty's face before. This like almost coy smile, as he's he was my betrothed at the time, and he may remember more. That there are those in the town who may remember more. I don't know, but I could take you to the manor if you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're comfortable with that.
Yes, I think I've figured out that. In fact, I will let Rusty walk, and I will just tell him which way to go, and then Rusty the very Rusty waddle starts like waddling off.
Trademark.
Yeah. And it's much more fluid than it was before. He starts heading up the stairs.
Does Rusty have an internal GPS now?
He does. He has Google Maps in his head. Hey Siri.
He has fucking Siri in his head.
Alexa, yeah. Yeah. So he starts waddling off and he turns around. How is Laffy taking this now?
Not great, but she's also not in control of him. Like, he's his own person, he can do what he wants, but she's just very protective of him. So she's sort of like I don't know what the word would be. She's just very like, I'd say she looks as though she's probably on the verge of tears, but she's trying to be like, I just want to help this person, and then it'll be sorted, and then it'll be fine, and like this is something he wants to do. But she's very, very overprotective of him.
Are you trying to hide that from him?
Yeah, do you want me to roll for deception?
If you wouldn't mind, yeah. And he's going to try and insight again.
I mean, the roll doesn't matter. Laffy.
No.
Wow. Wolf is just like holding onto Laffy's hand, just making sure she's alright.
She'd be squeezing your hand.
Yeah.
So in fact, Rusty, the reason he's rolled so low, poor little guy, is he's looking at everyone's face here. He seems to be so the eyes are the giveaway. When they are slightly green, they're Sarah's eyes. At the moment, they are full blue. Like he's his old Rusty self again. And he turns around and he's like got this this sad half smile on his face. He turns around. Riptide has been like stood there absolutely silent, like backed away to the wall, like in terror of the ghost. Like it's probably the only time you've seen like the idea for her of letting somebody else in like that is so completely alien. She's just like not even going to suggest it. How about what's Azalea's feelings on what's going on?
Obviously, Laffy is on. Even without doing checks, you would assume upset with a lot of this. And Laffy is like her tight friend, I think. So
they're tight.
They're tight. So she's, I think, like not saying very much, but coming over to hold her hand and give her a hand squeeze. And we'll slip a blunt in there later, but that's not the moment.
Jesus Christ.
And again, like not really wanting to interact much with it because of how Wolf has sort of treated a lot of any interaction with necromancy. So kind of trying to keep the trap shut and just be a supporting, comforting presence instead.
Okay. Kudo, it might be slightly different because you obviously have a little bit of outside influence coming from the sword as well. The vibe you're getting from the sword now is deep pity, like sorrow almost, akin to grief. Like not of Rusty being possessed, but of the in relation to the ghost, like a deep sorrow that whatever's happened. But what would your kind of what's going through Kudo's head?
Basically, for one, that job done without a hitch is one thing. Very practical.
Without a hitch.
Yeah, no problems at all, obvious. Well, the important thing is for the job we did solve the ghost problem in asterisks. And the other is, we should help this ghost, and if Rusty says he's fine with it, it's fine, basically.
Okay. Lou, again, you've had a slightly more bit of insight about this girl when she came a knocking on your internal doors, and it was kind of
that sounds like a
That's
euphemism.
crazy, James.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
It absolutely does.
I don't know. I
all
don't know
thought
if you hear, Lou, if you're there. Are you there, by the way? Right, carry on.
Yes.
Excellent. So you, when she came and possessed you, or was invited in rather, and she stepped in, there was like a share, like a personality share. This girl was super happy in her like very I don't want to say anonymous, but like she'd started off as like a scullery maid. Like I don't say the lowest of the low because that's not fair, but she started off as a very low position in this house, but had found like the house was really nice. The lady of the house was super pleasant. Helped her learn to read and write. The kids were like she loved hanging out with the kids. Were really nice. She'd had a good life, if like a little bit anonymous. She'd been engaged to be wed to this guy who was a knight in training, who like a local knight in training, who she was completely besotted with, very happy with. And her life prior to being brutally murdered was like quiet but pleasant. She hasn't really got like a deceptive bone in her body. It's just she'd had this horrendous thing happen to her just before she died. And in this like moment of personality share, you kind of see all of this, like her life behind it kind of thing. And she's just this vaguely simple woman who'd had something horrible happen to her. So you get a little bit more insight than almost anybody else. But what's going through Lou's head?
Lou deeply really feels for this woman because she can relate a little bit to what she has gone through. Also, having worked in a place against her will, the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She just feels horrible for this woman and is actively trying to calm her down and help her as much as she can, but she also feels really drained from the experience of having another person inside of her, but she is trying to like put like the brave face on and like trying to hide her exhaust.
I think more emotionally exhausted than physically. She's been hit with all these very intense feelings, and the feeling, I don't think it's happened to anybody, but the feeling of somebody else just completely being able to step in and take over their body is one that presumably is not a pleasant one. So the final person we come to is Wolf, and Wolf's opinion, I'm wondering how it's affected, because like your job is to bust this ghost, or bust ghosts in as quick and efficient way as possible. Normally you would be expected to have engaged this thing
pretty
in
much
combat
kill on
to destroy
sight.
it. But obviously I'm not gonna say that's the right thing to do. If you can take us through the steps that you perceive, that would be quite good.
So I think obviously the first time we saw the ghost, it was very much like a jump scare and like on edge, ready to attack or something. And then was very sort of confused after reading the book. Her brain went to, there's more information here that we can find out. And that was why, as soon as we saw Sarah the second time, it was like, rather than kill on sight, it was trying to find a way to communicate. Still being obviously nervous, but she's seen ghosts and undead before, so she's probably less nervous than a lot of people, just because she's used to them. And it's that sort of trying to connect, and then she immediately, that all folded when she grabbed Rusty and, I don't want to say, possessed, pretty much possessed him. And it was that, like, what's the best course of action? Looking at everyone's faces, looking at Rusty, going into the mind, seeing that, what is happening, trying to relax, but she's not caring less about herself and more about how Laffy is, sort of how, specifically Laffy and Rusty are taking this. Rusty seems okay, so she's slightly calmer, but she wants to try and help Laffy also feel calm, if that makes sense. Just be like a shoulder if she needs it. Sort of feeling very wary of the scenario, like things could definitely go badly. But after, out of game rolling very high insight and looking and not sensing any deception, she's calm enough, but she can't really be fully calm if Laffy is so worked up about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I know by this point we've usually ended, but we're gonna get you to the house before we end for the night. So as you, the being, well, Rusty is in charge at the moment. Rusty is walking and he's leading the way. Usually he's found next to Laffy, but at the moment is walking, and every so often he kind of looks up to the side, like he would look like if anyone's walked behind him. He often looks up at Laffy, kind of like a dog on a walk. I know we keep making this kind of analogy, or more like a kid who looks up at the parent they're holding their hands, and like he looks like he's having a conversation without moving his mouth. Like he looks up to see someone who isn't there, and he's not happy, but he seems as content as he probably could be. Yeah. And so he leads you to he leads you to the site of the site of the manor.
Are we going to the manor or are we going to Vecken's?
Oh, it's up to you. Where do you want to go?
I mean, I don't know what the group want to do. I don't know what Sarah wants to do.
Well, Sarah wants to go to the manor.
Yeah.
She would love to see she would love to see him. Well, in fact, she would ask, actually, where do you guys want to go? Where do you want to go? I can show you where it happened, but if you want to learn more about the town and what's happened since, I don't know what's happened since until today. Vecken, I can take you to where he lived. I don't know if he's still there. I hope he's still there. Well, he may have moved on. It's been many years.
I think we should go to the manor.
Rusty shrugs. Like he has skin in the game, but like he'd love to see Vecken, but I don't know. I'm not smart.
Sarah, what do you think's the most pressing?
There's like a definite physical change when like one takes over. So Rusty is this normal, very kind of like stoic face. Like unless he's looking at Laffy, he doesn't really show a lot of emotion. But when Sarah kind of steps forward, there's like a lot of emotion being shown on the face. Like he's chewing on his lip. He's very nervous. She's portraying him as very nervous, trying to carry him forward. And she goes, "Well, the manor's the closest. I'd love to see Vecken again, but I don't think he can know it's me. It's well, I'm not the woman I was. As well, maybe if I was to be in her body again, maybe I'd like him to see me, but it's not me. It's not.
Well, it is you, even if you're in a different body.
I wouldn't want him to see me. Like, well, I'll take you to the manor, and because it's the closest, and then from there, if you want to speak to Vecken, we can.
She repeats, like, just breathe.
You can see her get Rusty's form getting like it's not Rusty. You can see Sarah getting visibly upset at the thought of seeing her like not a widow,
Yeah.
but you know, whatever that
It's
is.
clearly like panicking on the verge of something like
yeah.
that. I think Wolf knows this feeling, so she just says, "Just breathe. We will go to the manor."
Yeah.
Azalea slips her pre-roll to Rusty.
To Rusty.
To
Oh,
Rusty.
Jesus.
I've never smoked a cigarette before. What's this?
Well, it's not quite a cigarette.
Oh no, maybe later. So
Not in Rusty's body.
they take you to this manor that, like, you can see like the silhouette of it, kind of, like parts of it from there, and from like the distance shot, you can't make out a lot of things. You walk around this corner. The streets are a little bit winding, and you come round and you see the manor in front of you, and there's like an audible gasp from Sarah. And like the hand goes to the mouth, which is a super like unrusty motion. The eyes are green as she's in control, and this manor is just a wreck. Like it's been completely like gutted by fire. You know, like windows smashed, doors hanging off. It looks like it's been just rinsed and smashed and like unoccupied for years. And the hand just goes, oh, that's like a home to me for years. Oh, poor Sir John. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he left after the. He must have left.
We did hear that he likely left. He is a wizard, correct?
Oh yes, Sir John was such a capable wizard. He could appear out of thin air. He could conjure things. He used to conjure presents for Christmas. Well, at the fantasy Christmas for people he'd accidentally forgotten.
Well,
I just had to go there.
we heard that and put together that he has been working on a tower. Would we see the tower from where we are?
It would. I would say it's just like slightly out of like it's quite a way away. It's like 5 miles away. You might be able to like you'd be confused between that and a tree kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a few miles out of the city. We passed it on the way here, sort of. I'd heard that it was being like renovated and built by a wizard, and I think that's probably him.
Okay. Well, maybe speak to him then. It's been. I'm remembering things slightly more now we're out. The night it happened is coming into focus. It's she looks around and like she looks up at Laffy and she looks up at Wolf and all the people who are kind of like gathered around her. She said, "I think it's you. It's you being here. You're like a bright, calming light, helping me come to terms with this. If I remember any more, I'll tell you. But maybe I'll take you to Veckens and see what he knows, and he'll be able to tell you what's happened since and information there about the town.
Comfortable with that?
I will stay at the back if that's okay. I wouldn't want him to. Oh, maybe he should know, but I can't. Maybe I won't go in. I don't think I could see him. I think he would tell and she just looks down at her hands, like her stubby little hands, and she goes, I was never beautiful, but he can't see me like this.
If you wish, you can take over my body again, and I am capable of casting Disguise Self, looking like your old self.
No,
just an idea.
That wouldn't be fair on him. Imagine seeing someone you thought you'd lost all those years ago back, and then it isn't them. No, I couldn't do that. I will wait outside. I
think the best thing to do is to play it by ear, see what happens, see how he takes information, and decide accordingly.
Yes. So she leads you down through the not far from that. It's just like on the other side of the town, like the front side of it. She starts like winding you through the town, and you see that there is there's a street just a couple of blocks away, and she as she's walking down there, she says, Vecken is a true and honourable man. he was so brave and so dedicated. I hope he's done something with his life since I've been gone. And she comes to this house. She leads you to this house. It's very simple, like very small house on there, and she gestures to it. She goes, "Here, this is where he lived."
Wolfen's like hesitant to knock, like when it doesn't want to have this
Lou knocks.
conversation. There you go.
Okay. So Lou knocks on the door, and after like a few seconds, there's like a bit of faffing at the door, and the door swings open, and standing behind the door, behind the open door, is a fairly broad and large, but not like massive in comparison to Riptide, black-haired human guy in like armor. I've just posted him into the chat. He's got like a couple of scratches on his face. And he's wearing a suit of armor and carrying like a dented sword, and in his other pocket he's got this cracked horn. And he's kind of like he opens the door and he like warmly looks at all these people in front of you. Like Rusty would, if anyone looks at him, his eyes are now back to the blue that they once were. It's him in charge now. He's kind of he's running the ship. But before this guy speaks, I think we'll leave it there for tonight.